मम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। So before we begin our today's study, I'd like to pray to Srila Rupa Goswami and also Srila Prabhupada to shower their blessings upon all of us so that we can understand this text properly and also apply in our life. So Srila Rupa Goswami, he has uh, used this analogy of jaundice. We are discussing text 7 of Nectar of Instruction. And Rupa Goswami was actually divinely empowered while using various analogies. One of the pastime behind this is once when Sanatan Goswami was traveling back from Govardhan, so he came to meet Srila Rupa Goswami. And that time, Sanatan Goswami requested Rupa Goswami that can you share something that you have been writing recently. And that time, Rupa Goswami, he was composing a drama. And while writing that drama, he read some portion from that drama. And Rupa Goswami, he had described the hairs of gopis, the hairs of Srimati Radharani, to be like black serpents. On the braids of the gopis, they were like black serpents, like cobras. So when Sanatana Goswami heard this comparison, he said, "This does not look so appropriate. Maybe you should consider changing it." And after saying this, Sanatana Goswami he went to nearby lake, one of the holy lakes, and he was taking bath there. While taking bath there, he happened to see some young girls, some small girls. They were kind of taking bath and playing in the lake. And when Sanatana Goswami looked at their hairs, it appeared that there were snakes on their heads, or instead of hairs, they had actually snakes. And he was afraid that these snakes can anytime bite these gopis. So, Shri Sanatana Goswami, he started going close to these girls in the lake and he was shouting, watch out, there are snakes on your heads. And when he came very close, all these small girls, they just smiled at Sanatan Goswami and they disappeared. So when they disappeared, he understand, oh, these were not some ordinary girls, but these were actually the special associates of Srimati Radharani. And then Srila Sanatan Goswami, he went back to Srila Rupa Goswami and told him that what analogy I've used for describing the braids, the hairs of the gopis and Srimati Radharani like the black snakes is perfect. So that is the writing of Srila Rupa Goswami. When he's writing something, when he's using some analogy, it is actually approved by Srimati Radharani and all the special associates. So when he's giving this analogy of jaundice here, it is not just something put by one's but mundane fertile brain, but it was like divinely empowered. Yes, and Srila Prabhupada also was very, very expert and divinely empowered. So many uh, analogies we have in scriptures, but Prabhupada made it more relevant for us by giving some more relevant analogy from the recent world. Just for example, earlier there was example of the chariot and horses, and Prabhupada gave car driver analogy. And so many analogies like that. So we're very grateful to these very special acharyas who have made this difficult spiritual concepts so easy to understand by these very special writings, which was actually divinely empowered. So we seek their blessings before beginning today's study. So we'll continue our study of text 7. We are discussing the 10 offenses towards the holy name. Please recite the verse. स्यात् कृष्णनामचरितादिसिताप्यविद्या
स्यात् कृष्णनामचरितादिसितापवित्या
पित्तोपतप्तरसनस्य नरोचिकानु
पित्तोपदत्सप्रदस्तनस्य रोचिकानु
किन्त्वादरादनुदिनं खलु सैव जुष्टा
द्वादरानतनुदिनं खलु सैव जुष्टा
स्वाद्विक्रमाद्भवति तद्गदमूलहन्त्री.
स्वादिक्रमाद्भवति तद्गदमूलहन्त्री.
The holy name, the character, pastimes, and activities of Krishna are all transcendently sweet like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by the jaundice of avidya, ignorance, cannot taste anything sweet, it is wonderful that simply by carefully chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish awakens within his tongue, and his disease is gradually destroyed at the root. So we already read the purport, so we'll not read again. So what was the last offense we discussed? Anybody remembers? What is the last offense?
To not have faith in the holy name, even if we have heard so much glories about it. भगवान नाम के जप में पूर्ण विश्वास ना होना है.
Correct. That is the last offense, but which was the offense that we discussed last?
We discussed about that considering holy name as the material things. मतलब भगवान के नाम को कर्मकांड के मुताबिक समझना.
Correct. So eighth offense. Eighth offense is the offense that we discussed last time. And now we will move to the ninth offense. Mm. Sharing screen. So we're discussing these offenses from Padma Puran, Brahma Khanda, text 25, chapter 25, text 15 to 18. Eighth offense we discussed last time was dharma, vrata, tyaga, hotadi, sarva, shubha kriya, samyam api pramadaha. So if someone is considering holy name to be equal to dharma, religious activities, vrata, some vows, tyaga, some renunciation, huta is fire sacrifices, adi, sarva shubha kriya, samyam. Samyam means considering holy name to be equal to these activities. So this is eighth offense. Api pramadaha can also be considered as a separate offense. Pramadaha means inattentiveness, or pramada also can mean madness. So in this, if we consider this api pramada to be part of eighth offense, then it is said if somebody considers holy name to be equal to these activities, then he is mad. Api pramadaha. Or we can say this api pramadaha is also pramadaha is one more offense, which basically somebody would discount as the 11th offense. So that we will discuss after we discuss our 10 offenses. Now today, proceeding with our ninth offense. Ninth offense is अश्रद्धधाने विमुखे अपि अशृण्वति यश्चोपदेशः शिवनामापराधः. It is an offense to preach the glories of the holy name of the Lord to the faithless. To instruct the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to a person who does not have faith. So, what should we do? Because one side, this is ninth offense that if you preach the glories of holy name to someone who is faithless, and other side, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed us, Jare dekha tare kaha Krishna upadesh. So does not this sound contradictory? Chaitanya is saying, whomever you see, give them Krishna upadesh. And make everyone chant Hare Krishna. And ninth offense is to preach the glories of holy name to someone who is faithless. So how do we reconcile?
So, Prabhuji, if somebody is not interested in listening about the glories of holy name, then in that case, we should not forcefully tell him, no, this is good. Like, even if we are talking about Lord Shiva, somebody is interested in hearing about Lord Shiva's glory, then we should not be telling, no, you have to do this only, like that. We can ask them, you can do additionally these things, but not a forceful way. So, I
Okay,
think that's my understanding.
that's your understanding that we should not be forcing, but we can at least once tell them. Is it what you want to say?
No, means if they are not interested, we should not even tell them once. We should be
But how
quiet.
do we know whether they're interested or not unless we tell them?
If like somebody who is atheist, totally who don't believe in God, then for that person it's useless to talk about God. But if somebody is at least having some
But but but
bhakti,
uh, but there are so many people who were atheists and who have become theists because someone ignited that fire in their heart. Someone
but
rekindled.
it was not direct preaching. It was somewhere like prasadam or something else or association sangha, which
Okay.
gave them. That's I mean, like it's not direct. Like no, you should chant, you should do this, you should
Okay, so
follow
don't
this.
tell about chanting, you can tell other things. That's your understanding. Don't tell
Yeah,
about the
Prabhu.
chanting.
Yeah,
You
Prabhu.
can tell about other things. Interesting. Yes, Sagar bro or Suyash bro, who wants to?
Rosie, like we can encourage them to chant, but we will not tell them the intimate glory of the holy name. Like,
Okay, some very esoteric glories we don't have to tell. Like
mm,
that. That's what we have heard. That, oh, when you chant Hare Krishna, Radha and Krishna are doing Ras Leela on your tongue. So, some very esoteric explanations of the holy name, we don't have to tell them. But it doesn't say like that in the translation or in the text. You're correct, man. That's what I've also heard till now. He said, Ashraddha Vimukhe api ashrinmati. If you want to see the word to word meaning, ashraddha is a faithless, vimukhe is reluctant or someone who has turned his face away. Api, even ashrinmati does not want to hear. Yah, one who, cha, and upadesha, instruction, Shivanama Paradha. So here Shivanama Parad can be either offense towards the holy name of Lord Shiva or auspicious uh, name, that is Lord Narayan's name. Shiva Nama Aparadha. There is something on the chat box. Try once. If they are not receptive, then do not pursue further. Neha Mataji. That's what you do, Mataji, in your company. Try once. एक बार करने में उतना बड़ा रिस्क नहीं है. Yeah. So Srila Jiva Goswami, okay, don't leave them with material gains. I mean, that is also interesting thing. Oh, if you to chant, you'll get this benefit, you'll get that benefit. A lot of material benefits we don't tell them. Uh, okay. So what is the qualification for someone to chant or for someone to practice bhakti? What is the
Faith in the
qualification required?
process.
Huh?
They have some faith. They have some faith.
Faith in the process, correct. Shraddha. Shraddha is the only qualification. In fact, I don't know whether Rupa Goswami or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they say that only qualification required is you should be a human being. That's the most basic qualification. If you're a human being, you can practice bhakti, not a problem. But yes, if you go a little further, understanding is Shraddhavana Jana hai yehi bhakti adhikari. Someone who has Shraddha, he is a bhakti adhikari. Now, how do we know whether a person has Shraddha or not before you tell them about chanting the holy names? So, taking this verse as the basis, Srila Jiva Goswami, he says that we are allowed to try 3 times. Actually, Sanatana Goswami, what he says that only if a person is having all these three in them, then only you're not supposed to instruct them about chanting. All these three is he should be ashraddha, he should not have any faith. He is also vimukhe. He's kind of wanting to turn his face away from chanting. And ashrinvati, he doesn't want to hear. If these three things are there, that means he's really very much against. He's very determined not to chant. Such a person, if you instruct them about the chanting, then that will become an offense. Not just telling them about the esoteric meanings, but even asking them or forcing them to chant will become an offense. But Jiva Goswami, he says that let us assume that the person whom you are going to approach has some Shraddha because of whatever previous life experiences, some Sukruti somebody has given, somebody has prayed for them, or whatever. He may have some Shraddha, we don't know. So there is no harm in taking a chance. And he says, once you can try. Would you like to chant Hare Krishna? And he says, I don't have so much faith. Then second time, you could still try. He says, and he says, no, I don't want to do. And still once more, there is opportunity. You could try. And he says, I don't want to hear this. If 3 times you try and still he doesn't want to do, and if you instruct him further, then that will become the 9th offense towards the holy name. Now, why will this be called as offense? What is the problem? It should be actually a good thing to instruct someone about the glories of chanting. You are trying to bring them back on the right path. If you instruct them when they don't have faith, why that should be called as offense? Yes. Suresh, Sagar. Yes, sir.
Yes, Praji, if we still try to ask them to chant, and then they will become anti, and they will go, they will blast, they will not respect devotees, they will think that these are fanaticism, and then they will go more away from the devotees or the process of bhakti.
Correct. So they will go further away. They will even consider devotees to be fanatic. They may criticize devotees. Siddheshwar also says same thing. Person will go away from Krishna. Tarunima was studying that. Faithless will offend further and go further away. Correct. So if someone is faithless and you are trying to instruct him, what will happen is uh, he will end up committing offenses towards the holy name. Hmm. Uh, Even they will envy Krishna more. Correct. So this is one problem that will happen. Uh, that the person may turn further mm, uh, against, maybe even more anti. And one more thing that will happen is even holy name will not be pleased. So the problem will be from both the sides. The person whom we are instructing to chant, he will commit further offenses. And even holy name is not pleased with such a person because he's offending devotees. Even holy name is not pleased. Both the parties are not happy. Then why to bring them together? Trying to bring such people together uh, will cause further damage. Holy name will further withdraw its mercy from a person when you try to instruct him further. Because he will behave in a way which will be very displeasing to the holy name. So, in the definition of Uttama Bhakti that Sri Rupa Goswami has given, Anyabhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulyena Krishnanu Shilanam Bhaktiruttama. So, Anukulyena Krishnanu Shilanam. This is the primary characteristics of Shuddha Bhakti. One should be Anukul, one should be favorable. If one is not favorable, then uh, that will not be called as Bhakti. Like Shishupal, he did remember Krishna, but he was not doing it in an Anukul way. So that can be called as Uttama Bhakti. One may be doing activities of Bhakti, but it is not Anukul Bhav. That Anukul Bhav is not there. Then that primary characteristics of Shuddha Bhakti is missing. So if he is not having Anukul Bhav towards the holy name, and if you try to instruct him, if he becomes further Pratikul, then that will be a big disservice from our side. So instead of trying to instruct them directly about chanting, we should do some other things which will make him favorable at least towards devotees by whatever behavior, like Akhileshwari Mataji told, we can give them prasadam, and we can do some indirect activities by which they don't maintain any hatred or envy towards devotees at least, and eventually they may pick up to chanting. So once you can try, second time you can try, third time, uh, if still the person is very much against, is Srinivati, he doesn't want to hear, don't instruct him further. Because that Anukulyana Krishna Anushilanam is very important. He should remain whatever uh, favorable attitude he has right now, let it be there. Let that not degrade further. He should not become further pratikul. That is the point. Now, mm, yeah, and this Shiv Namaprad we already discussed because this we discussed in the last session, question answer time, how Lord Shiva's holy name also have these 10 offenses. So that's why Shiva and Vishnu is used interchangeably here. Three times trying, is it only about glories of holy names or outreach in general? There is a question Tarunima is asking. See, general outreach we can surely do, but when specifically you are pushing the person further again and again, when he doesn't want to. In general, we go out and make an announcement. We do Harinam Sankirtan. Somebody doesn't want, it's okay, he will just walk away. But catching the person, the main thing is his attitude should not become pratikul. That's the main thing. Whether you are instructing in general or telling specific glories, if you're able to turn his attitudes favorable, then that is not a problem. while talking to someone. Obviously, it will depend on the amount of shraddha that they are carrying in their life. But the main point is they should not become pratikul. They should not become further offensive. That mindset uh, is more important than just the external act. Does it make sense, Prabhu? Okay. So then we come to the 10th offense. Now, this is the most subtle, and in one sense, we can say uh, the root of these 10 offenses. श्रुतेऽपि नाम महात्म्ये यः प्रीतिरहितो नरः अहं ममादि परमो नाम्नि सोऽपि अपराधकृत्. Shruteऽपि नाम महात्म्ये. He has heard Shrute. What? Nama Mahatmya. He has heard the glories of the holy name. But even after hearing the glories, yaha priti rahito. He does not have any priti, he does not have any feelings, any affection towards the holy name. Naraha, such a person. And what does he do? Or what is his feeling? What is his consciousness? Aham mamadi paramo. So aham means myself. Mamadi means something that is belonging to me. Aham mameti, me and mine. Paramo, so that is the topmost thought in his mind. Aham mamadi paramo, that is the topmost thing. Me and mine. That is the only thing he is revolving around in his life. Namni sopi aparadakrit. Then such a person is also doing an offense to the holy name. If one has heard the glories of the transcendental holy name of the Lord, but nevertheless continues in a materialistic concept of life, thinking I am this body and everything belonging to this body is mine, aham mameti, and does not show respect and love for the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that is an offense. So the regular translation is to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. So why this is an offense? You are hearing the glories of the holy name and still you consider yourself to be very important and maintain a lot of material attachments, living life centered around me and mine conception. So why this is considered offense?
It's like you have got something like the topmost, but still you are looking at the lower taste and appreciating that as probably the most important.
Okay, correct. Hmm. Any other thoughts on this? So I would like to present one very amazing analysis by Srila Bhakti Thakur in this connection. Uh, Srila Bhakti Thakur, he says that there are four categories of anarthas. The anarthas that we have, they can be divided into four categories based on the defect in the different aspects of our subtle body. This may be a little complex to understand, but understand what is the what are the constituents of our subtle body? What are the four constituents of our
Mind, intelligence, and false ego.
mind, intelligence, false ego, and the fourth one?
Mm.
Not sure what subconscious meant.
Hmm?
Not sure, but subconscious mind.
Yes, subconscious mind, there is chitta. So one, buddhi, ahankara, and chitta. These are the four aspects of our subtle body. Now, when there is defect in each of these aspects, that leads to a particular anartha. The four aspects of our subtle body leading to four kinds of anarthas, which are creating obstacle in our further progress of devotional service. The four anarthas that Bhaktivinoda Thakur speaks of is, first is Tattva Vibhrama. Second is Asat Trishna. Third is Hridaya Daurbalya. And the fourth is Aparadha. These are the four anarthas which create a lot of problem in our progress in devotional service. Tattva Vibhrama, Asat Trishna, Hridaya Daurbalya, and Aparadha. I'll explain all these one by one. The first is Tattva Vibhrama. Tattva means philosophical understanding. Vibhrama means misunderstanding. So, misunderstanding about spiritual truths. For example, if a person understands that, oh, I am a conditioned soul right now, but if I practice one of the paths of yoga, I will become Krishna. So he has improper Tattva Gyan. He's illusioned by a wrong understanding. This is called Tattva Vibhrama. When we have wrong Sambandha Gyan or wrong Tattva Gyan, that will create obstacle in our progress in devotional service. So, do you want to guess which part of our subtle body is having defect, which is causing Tattva Vibhrama? Is it defective?
Intelligence.
Yes, perfect.
Intelligence.
Perfect. So, when intelligence is defective, that leads to Tattva Vibhrama Aparadha or Anartha, not Aparadha, Anartha. Then Asat Trishna. Trishna means hankering. Sat is something like permanent. Asat means temporary. So having hankering for temporary things, that is material desires. So can you guess this is because of the defect in which aspect of our subtle body? Material desires.
Mind.
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 Perfect. So when the mind is having defect, that will lead to the anartha called Asat Trishna, which will also create obstacle in our progress in bhakti. Third is Hridaya Daurbalya. That is weakness of heart. Now I want to go very deep into all what exactly this means, because it is another series of sessions. But Hridaya Daurbalya is weakness of heart. One is understanding what is right, but one doesn't have that conviction to follow it or to do it. He understands, yes, I should chant, material world is temporary, spiritual world is what I want to attain, devotional service is the ultimate path. But one is not having that determination to practice because of the weakness of his heart. So would like to guess this is going to be tough. Defect in which aspect of our subtle body leads to Hridaya Daurbalya?
Consciousness.
Chitta.
Perfect. Chitta. When Chitta is having defect, we have weakness of heart. And the last anartha, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains, is aparadh, offenses. And offenses happen when we have defect. In which part of our subtle body?
Ego. False ego.
False ego.
False.
Perfect. So when false ego has defect, that leads to offenses. Clear? So offenses, basically, all the 10 offenses, His Holiness Bhakti Vigyan Goswami Maharaj explains that these are not 10 different offenses. These are all one offense only. But it is in the varying degree of its manifestation. The most subtle is the 10th offense, and the most apparent gross, which is very clearly visible, is the first offense, Satamaninda, blaspheming devotees, is its ultimate manifestation when it reaches its peak. The offensive mentality at its peak, we will loudly, publicly, on internet, on websites, blaspheme the devotees, which is clearly visible. The most subtle is the 10th one. Very difficult to identify. How much aham mamadi paramo we have, even after hearing the glories of the Holy. But he says all these are basically manifestations of false ego only. And the false ego is increasing, increasing, increasing. It is just coming out in different ways of this 10 offenses. And the distraction in chanting is also because of having too much aham mamadi paramo, identifying ourselves too much with I'm this body and everything belonging to this body is mine. That leads to distraction also. So even the 11th offense, the root of all this is false ego. And His Grace Burichand Prabhu and so many amazing teachers who have written books on japa and chanting, they all explain that when we are chanting the holy name, what has to happen is the holy name has to touch our false ego. But somehow mind and corrupted intelligence, all of them will try their best that the holy name does not touch false ego. Because the more they touch, the false ego will get purified and it will get transformed into true ego. So mind keeps distracting whichever holy name is coming, the mind kind of trying to distract it away so that the holy name doesn't come and attack our false ego. So this is a very deep concept, and the root of all this is in the 10th offense. Aham mamadi paramo, I am great, I am very special. And Srila Jiva Goswami says that this happens even after coming to devotional service. I am a great kirtanier. No one can do kirtan like me. I am a great preacher. And glories of holy name are being spread because of preachers like me. If I was not there on the planet, what would have happened to the holy name? Who would have spread holy name in the society, in the city, or in this country or on this planet if I was not there? So this Amamaniparu, then that leads to giving more importance to ourselves and less importance to the holy name. Are you getting the 10 offense, the 10th offense? Even after hearing so many glories, one is so much attached to one's own greatness, he feels I am more important than the holy name. Holy name is having its credibility because of me. Because I sing with such a melody and so much devotion, people are able to appreciate the holy name. Otherwise, what value does holy name have? So this is Aham Mamani Param, the 10th offense. The false ego is so much that one ends up offending the holy name. So what is the connection between these 10 offenses? His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj explains in his seminar that the 10th offense, so it all begins with false ego. Now, when false ego is there and you consider yourself a greater and very special, and holy name being less special, this is the most subtle thing. That leads to the 9th offense. What is 9th offense? To preach the glories of holy name to faithless people. Why? He says, because now you are considering yourself important, now you want a lot of followers. And to gain followers, what will you do? Preach to anyone and everyone, whether he has Shraddha or not. Somehow you want to push everyone because they are coming to your program, they have to be chanting 64 rounds. Because they are connected to me, they have to become devotees. If someone has come in touch with me and did not become devotee, I am not Uttamadhikari. Because Uttamadhikari is someone, just by looking at him, other people will start chanting. So to prove one's greatness, one will somehow force the holy name on other people. So that's how that will lead to 9th offense. Then 9th offense will lead to the 8th offense. What is the 8th offense? Considering all this karma kan and all this activities, auspicious activities to be equivalent to holy name, which also in a subtle way means, why do people do karma kan? because they want to remain materially very happy, very satisfied. Now, when he's trying to preach the glories of the holy name to people who are faithless, then he will have to give some carrot. And he will say, oh, this is also very nice karma kand. Holy name is also very nice karma kand. Holy name will make you materially very happy. Holy name is also very good yajna. It will clear up all your sinful activities. Your sinful reactions will be cleansed off. Are you getting? So he will end up committing the eighth offense by equating holy name to other mundane ritualistic activities. And then that will lead to the seventh offense. What is the seventh offense? To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. And such people, when you preach, so they will not be able to give up their sinful activities. And then they will say, okay, no problem, we can continue to sin. And we have a very good uh, sin cleaner agent available. Sin cleansing agent, a very nice technology in this Kali Yuga. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam Eva Kevalam. Let me chant the holy name and clear up all this. So that way they will do the uh, seventh offense. Now, when you do like this, you'll not get much taste in chanting. Our interest in chanting, our taste in chanting will keep reducing. And then you wonder what is happening to me. I'm not getting any taste. Then you will do the sixth offense. That is Harinamani Kalpanam. You will consider glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be some imagination, or you will give some interpretation, some mundane interpretation to the holy name. And fifth offense also, because you feel all these glories which were told to me, I did not experience them. I'm not experiencing any ecstasy. So all this is hoax. So this is all imagination. And that will lead to fourth offense. What is the fourth offense? To consider the scriptures. To what is it? To
Blasphemy
अर्थवाद
Vedic scriptures.
वैदिक शास्त्रों को में अर्थवाद का आरोप करना.
so Shruti Shastra Nindanam. Then you will see, okay, the holy name is not potent. Though who has told me holy name has potency? Scriptures. So then you start blaspheming scriptures. These scriptures ही गड़बड़ है. Then that will lead to third offense. Why? Who told me about scriptures?
Guru.
Guru. The problem is in Guru. Then start doing avagya of Guru. He will disobey Guru. And then that will lead to second offense. When after blaspheming his Guru and after offending his Guru, one will think, actually, all this God, does it really exist? Or God, demigod, all this is Mayavad. So, second offense, the subtle meaning also is to consider not just demigods to be equal to Krishna, but also, uh, you know, it's about the philosophy of Mayavad. And uh, if you remember the word there, Dhiya Bhinnam, that was the word. Dhiya Bhinnam means considering Lord Shiva to be equal to Lord Vishnu or different from Lord Vishnu. Dhiya Bhinnam also means to consider holy name to be different than Krishna. Dhiya Buddhi. That, oh, holy name is something mundane and Lord is something mundane. And he will come up with so many complicated philosophies and ultimately he'll become Mayavad. That's what. And then the first thing, the first offense will happen. What will be that offense? So now he has rejected holy name, he has rejected Guru, he has rejected scriptures, he has rejected proper understanding of the Lord. And he sees devotees going around and preaching the glories of the holy name. Then what he will do?
They are all doing time pass.
These are all, not just doing time pass, they are misleading humanity. These are the most bogus people on the planet. They are misleading humanity, and I need to wake up people. I need to tell them the reality. And he will start blaspheming the devotees, who especially are preaching the glories of the holy name. So, does it make sense? Are you able to appreciate the very amazing deep analysis done by our acharyas and the Vardhaman acharyas also? It's very, very amazing, very, very deep. So it's a series, a separate series of seminars. I'm not getting into details of that, but the root of all this is in the false ego, which is the 10th offense. Aham mamadi paramo considering oneself and one's material identity, material ambitions to be more important than the holy name. Yes, Suyesh Bro.
Sorry to interrupt, Proji, in between. Proji, just one doubt. Like we like go reverse from 10 to 9 to 8, and then seventh was like to those people who were faithless, he preached. So from seventh offense, Proji, is it that the person who preached is committing the offense on the strength of the like holy name, or to the persons who he preached? So if the persons who are preached they are committing, then first person is not committing,
He
right?
will also commit, no? Because eventually he is also going to fall, as I discussed.
Okay.
He will also lose his faith. Mhm. He will also slowly get into all this. He may not immediately do sinful activities, but once he comes to that stage of Harima Namani Kalpanam, or giving some under interpretation, or thinking this is all imagination, why will he follow the regulative principles? So that will lead to his fall also. But so basically, this is a deep science, and the whole thing, the root of all this lies in the false ego. And it is this false ego only which creates so much distraction when we are trying to chant the holy name. Api Pramadaha. So that is the 11th offense. 11th offense is Api Pramadaha. It is an offense. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. And that's why the first thing that we need to do for doing Adarat, a respectful approach towards the holy name, is to chant attentively. To not do any parallel activity while chanting, checking our phones, speaking in between, and doing so many things. This is another to the holy name. This is a big another to the holy name. And if you do this, do not expect that you will experience the sweetness of the holy name. Sita Api, like sugar candy, what Srila Rupa Goswami is speaking about here. So we discussed how one can do another. And I had also mentioned that each of these offenses, they have their own specific remedies. We'll discuss that right now, and then we will discuss about some common remedies that we can try to think of. So again, His Holiness Bhakti Vegan Goswami Maharaj have taken a lot of understanding about the remedies also from him. Maharaj says that actually holy name is very merciful. Correct? That's what we say. Holy name is more merciful than
The Lord Himself.
the Lord Himself. Hari se bada Hari ka naam. Kitna kripalu hai. Hari ka naam. It is so merciful. But then we also see why there are so many offenses. So in what sense holy name is merciful? If there are so many offenses also involved in relation to chanting, then in what sense are you merciful? Somebody may ask this question.
Accessibility.
It is accessible. Okay.
And even if we are doing all these offense, even with we are chanting without considering it important, it is giving us curing us, even if we are not realizing it.
So you meant to say that just go on chanting, don't think about all these offenses, and we
No,
become
no,
clean.
no, not like that. Means holy name is merciful in that regard that we have been doing till date, and every day we do so much offense to holy name. Still, it is giving us an opportunity to
To chant.
chant.
Oh, interesting. Although we are offensive, still holy name is merciful that it is allowing you to chant the next day. Interesting. Thank you. Yeah, very unique realizations. Agression Vade. Something that I've not heard. But thank you. So Shamsin was saying Aushadhi, it is Aushadhi, so it is very merciful. How Prabhuji? Aushadhi doesn't seem very tasty, people are not very eager to get Aushadhi.
No, even if we don't have faith, if we continue to have Aushadhi can still purify. Of course, in Ayurvedic, it says that once you have faith, it has more impact.
Yeah, but in the beginning only we discussed of this seminar that Aushadhi, whether anybody takes, his jaundice will be cured. But so many people are taking the Aushadhi of holy name, and we don't see the jaundice getting cured. I mean, at least in my case, 20 years I'm chanting, I still have same struggles.
Yeah, that person may feel so, but others will know.
So many devotees chanting for 30 years, 40 years. Mm. And sometimes some people want to go away from them. Acha, we let him chant alone. I cannot be with that person. He has been chanting for 40 years. Okay, Sagar says forgives quickly. Uh, this is your feeling or you? Ready to give many chances, ability to forgive endlessly. Yash was saying, Hari sthani aparade tare hari naam. Okay, that way it is merciful. हरि का अपराध कर दिया तो हरि नाम ले लो तो उससे बचा देगा हरि नाम. Interesting. It is simple for simple and complicated for complicated. See, holy name is very merciful from the point of view of Namna Makari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Na Smarane Kala. Holy name is having all the potency of the Lord, and there is no hard and fast rule for chanting. You can chant anywhere, anytime, anyone. Anyone can do that. That way, holy name is very merciful. But holy name is very sensitive to one thing. And that is our pashandata. Maharaj explains pashandata is your offensive mentality, your crookedness, your duplicity, which is basically because of the false ego. So the false ego is something that holy name is very sensitive to. False ego will lead to passionata. बाकी सब में बहुत merciful है हरिनाम. ये जब देखता है, so I explained last time in the question and answer session how our chitta, when someone deals with us very nicely, our chitta expands, and we want to do something good. Very positive feelings flow out from our heart. And someone misbehaves with us, our chitta contracts, and we want to withdraw our mercy. Same thing is happening with the holy name. When holy name is dealt very nicely, holy name becomes very merciful. It wants to give very special experiences to the chanter. But when holy name senses something offensive, he senses the false ego, then the chitta gets contracted, and the mercy gets withdrawn. So, so the solution is what? The first, okay, let me discuss some common solutions also. The first thing is one has to work upon one's false ego. That can be done by practicing humility. That's why so many great souls, including Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, emphasized so much this aspect of humility. Trinadapi sunechena tarorapi sahishana amani namanadena. Only such a person will be able to attract the mercy of the holy name. And only when holy name descends himself, only then we can do Kirtaniya Sadahari. We cannot do Kirtaniya Sadahari on our own strength, on our material strength. Prabhuji Nirjal Ekadashi. I will do 300,000 names today. On our own, it will be only for one day. It won't be Anudinam. एक दिन हो जाएगा, दूसरे दिन फ्लैट. आज 16 माला हो गया तो बहुत बड़ी बात है. So we will get strength to chant more and more only when holy name becomes happy with us. When holy name will descend on our tongue. On whose tongue will holy name want to descend? On someone who is Trinadapi Sunechena, Tarorapi Saheshrana, Amani Namanadina. Because offensive mentality is missing, false ego is missing. Then holy name will be very happy to come and uh, uh, accept service by such a person, like that. So how do we work on humility? by working at three levels: Kaya, Manasa, Vacha, at the level of body, at the level of speech, and at the level of mind. At all these three levels, one has to practice humility. How can we practice humility at the level of body?
Offering obeisance.
Offering obeisances. Very nice. We should offer obeisances. Uh, We should never skip as much as possible offering obeisances. Why wherever Goswamis? Sankhya Purvaka Nama Gana Natibhi. Natibhi means going down. They had vows that these many rounds I will chant and these many times I will bow down every day. 1,000 times I will bow down. What if you don't meet 1,000 Vaishnavas? Oh, I don't have to bow down now because I had vowed to offer obeisance to 1,000 times every day, but I should be able to see 1,000 devotees. I saw only one devotee today, so I just bowed down once. Is that okay? How were they bowing down 1,000 times if they did not see 1,000 Vaishnavas?
In mind and at home also in front of deities.
No. Okay. In mind, they would remember that Vaishnava and practically offer obeisances. Huh? Oh, Raghunath Das Goswami, Iman Shankar Patan. Oh, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. So remembering all the Vaishnavas. So that is one of the song that's how we are supposed to begin our day by singing the song what is that? Vrindavana Vasi Jata Vaishnava Gan Prathame Vandana Kari Sabara Charan. Devkinananda Das is teaching us how should we begin our day. Vrindavana Vasi Jata Vaishnava Gan Sabara Charana Vando Kariya Smaran. So many Nilachala Vasi, then Mayapur Vasi, and Gaudadesh Vasi, and all the Vaishnavas who have been there, all the Vaishnavas who are going to appear. Every day you offer obeisances to them. And that is also one of the way you can overcome offenses that you might have committed unknowingly towards some Vaishnavas. Because you're also not aware, and somebody has got offended or whatever. But if you want to overcome that, this common offering of obeisances that we do in the morning program, everyone together, or in the morning when we wake up, it's a good practice if we can offer obeisances to all these people and actually offer obeisances at the level of body as much as possible, based on whatever physical situation your body allows. But it's good if one can do this. And then at the level of mind, how can we practice? Sorry, speech. Second is speech. How can we practice?
Glorification.
Glorifying devotees.
Yes, glorifying devotees. It is very important that we utilize our tongue in glorifying Vaishnavas every day. That will force us to become humble. Our false ego will get punches when we are glorifying someone, especially someone whom we don't like. Uh, I don't like this Vaishnava. Take that austerity, glorify that Vaishnava in WhatsApp groups publicly by your audio message, by your video message. That's very painful, right? Writing a text is easy. Even AI can generate that and can just send a text. Happy birthday, Prabhu. I'm so grateful. You're so nice. But utilizing our speech also in glorifying devotees in public loudly, that will help us gain humility. And in mind,
Mananam, thinking about the glories of holy name and remembering the holy name.
yes, holy name surely, and also remembering the glories of devotees in mind, not just speaking.
Devotees.
But in mind, not thinking of our own glories, not relishing our own greatness, our own glorious activities, but remembering others' glories, thinking about them. Yeah, glorification should be genuine. Yeah, Mataji, that is correct. At the same time, we should try to appreciate. And genuine, there are many genuine glorifications, like glorious activities or qualities in the person, where it's up to us to do that hard work and find out and then speak about it like that. Okay, making plans to please devotees in mind. Correct. So at all these three levels, one has to practice. humility and focus on overcoming one's false ego. So when so basically, because all these offenses are basically manifestation of offensive mentality, which is not different than false ego. So if you just work upon this one mentality, automatically you will be able to overcome many of these offenses. So another thing that is suggested by Vaishnava Acharyas is we must feel deeply remorseful about the offenses that we have already done to the holy. One should feel a lot of repentance in one's heart. Oh, I'm such a paradi, I'm such an offender. I've offended holy name, I've offended the Vaishnavas, the preachers, the guru, the scriptures, the demigods, and all these people have been offending. So having this repentance is very important. Prabhupada writes in one of the purports in Bhagavatam, only in the person who is having repentant heart can see Lord. Something like that. When Najamil is repenting his sinful life, after he got second chance, he was very much repenting. Oh, why did I do this? So that repentant heart becomes a very fertile ground for the Lord to come and appear. So before you actually begin to chant, it's good to think on this and genuinely beg forgiveness from the holy name. That, oh, it's like if you actually happen to offend someone, how we go to that person, we cry tears, we fall at their feet, and we, Prabhu, please forgive me. I did not mean this. Somehow it happened. I don't know. So, same way we need to do with the holy name. With tears in our eyes, we have to fall at the feet of the holy name and beg to be forgiven. And not just beg forgiveness, but try to serve the holy name or try to please the holy name also. One is by chanting attentively, another is by spreading the glories of the holy name, by trying to share the holy name with as many people as possible. So, one more thing uh, we can do is uh, to regularly hear about these offenses. That is another very important thing. What will happen when we regularly hear about the offenses and ways to overcome the offenses? The samskaras which have been pushing us to commit a particular offense will become weakened. Every time you hear, oh, this is offense, this is offense, this is offense, and that repetitive hearing will weaken those samskaras which are pushing you to the to commit that particular offense. Are you getting? If we don't hear regularly, then those samskaras which push us to commit a particular offense become stronger. So that's why it is advised that on a regular basis we should read the glories of the holy name and also meditate on all these offenses. That is one of the reason our morning program we have included recitation of these 10 offenses. After chanting the Shastrakam prayers, we need to mindfully, with a very proper conscious attitude, meditate on each of these offense. Then that will create or or that will weaken the samskaras which are pushing us to do this offense. Then another thing that is suggested is or something that is common remedy for all the brothers is association of great souls and serving them. Association of great souls, sadhu, sangha, and committed towards the. What remedy have you heard till now that, oh, if one wants to overcome offenses, then what is the solution? What we have to do?
Serve.
Huh?
Serve.
Serve?
Association.
Serve whom? I mean,
Please.
serve devotees, okay. But generally what, like Saurabh is telling, chant, correct? Generally the typical solution that we hear that how will the Namaprad stage be crossed?
Regular chanting.
By chanting more and more, chanting more and more. But it is not just chanting more and more, but I will quote you that verse. Got a very nice understanding from one Vaishnava about this. The verse is glorified or described in this connection for overcoming the offenses is this. जाते नाम अपराधेपि प्रमादेन कथंचन सदा संकीर्तयन् नाम तदेक शरणो भवेत्. This is a verse quoted in Hari Bhakti Vedas. And there are some more similar verses, which is Jate. Jate means birth. Nam aparadhepi. If aparad has happened, pramadena kathanchana, because of somehow or other, some inattention or some way. Then what is the solution? Sada sankirtayan nam. You have to always, constantly do sankirtayan nama tad eka sharano bhavet, and take exclusive shelter of the holy name. Now here it is called Sankirtayan Nama. It is not just Kirtan Nama. This Sankirtan Nama means we have to come in association of devotees and chant. And what kind of devotees? Those devotees who were described in the fifth verse of NOI. Shushrushaya Vajana Vigya Ananya Namanya Nindarisho Niridamapchita Sangalabdya. Those devotees who are very exalted, those who know the Nama Tattva, those who can teach us how to chant, those who can rectify our faults. In association of those people, which basically means guru and very exalted people, under their association, we need to chant, we need to serve. They will help us with overcoming specific anarthas or specific offenses that we are committing. So that is also important solution. Yes, Sanatan Gopal, you raise your hand.
Yes, Prabhu. One of the solution we discussed was in text 3, end of the that text was um, you can only give up the attachments when we discuss the prejudices, swabhav. Only solution is the sadhu sangha. Then we
Sadhu.
discuss 11.12.1 na what was na rodayati mam yoga, that verse. Only by attachment to a sadhu you can give up this. All these things can be weakened, all these propensities can be weakened in the association of sadhu.
Perfect. Thank you for reminding. So this sadhu sangha, and how will we get that sadhu sangha?
By praying to holy name.
Yes, by prayers. Yeah, either to holy name, but yeah, generally by prayers, we need to pray for this sadhu sangha. Because it's not so easy. It's very rare. It's very difficult. We need to pray, we need to cry, we need to be very, very desperate. Like how our Vaishnava acharyas have been crying. Give me association, give me association, give me association of great souls. Then some great souls association we will get who will be able to help us rectify our aparadhas and help us progress further in devotional service. So this very sincere prayers, deep prayers, great longing and crying in our heart, that greed for association, uh, that is very important. Okay, Brahma Krishna was saying, stop being a controller and become a beggar. Correct. So we need to be big. So we need to become the beggar. Hare Krishna. I think Harinam Prabhu does not want me to speak so much on this. बोले बहुत बोल रहा है और तो कुछ करता नहीं है, बोलते बहुत जा रहा है, इसको थोड़ा शांत करना पड़ेगा. So it is fluctuating here. So anyways, I not speak much now. I need to apply all these things I'm speaking. So respectful chanting or chanting with other has some more qualities, which I described again in Shri Hari Bhakti Vilas. There is one verse which says there are 6 qualities of respectful japa. So first thing it is said is uh, manasamharanam. The japa should be done with concentration of mind. One should be very focused. Mind should not be very much disturbed. And Hari Bhakti Vilas says if some days you feel very much disturbed in your mind when you are beginning to chant, you could take help of pranayams. By doing some Rechak, Kumbhak, and those kinds of pranayams, that will help you to stabilize your mind, because sometimes mind is really very disturbed. It's like constant fluctuations are happening, or it's very uh, crazy. It's not able to focus. Then one could also take help of some pranayams for a few minutes before beginning. But somehow make sure that you're able to chant with manasamharanam, that is concentration of the mind. Second thing, it is said that for a respectful japa, one should practice shaucham, that is cleanliness or purity. Although there are no hard and fast rules for chanting, one can chant without taking bath also. But if you take bath, sit in a clean place, and sit with a pure mind, then your chanting will be much more better, and it will be more respectful approach towards your japa. So in some situations when you're traveling and all, maintaining purity may not be possible, but as much as possible one should practice purity, shaucham. Third thing, it is said silence, maunam, is also another characteristics of a respectful chanting. Now maunam here means not speaking anything other than chanting while chanting. Don't do uh, any other activities of speaking when you're chanting. So that is also a quality of a adarat, respectful japa. And then fourth quality described is mantrartha chintanam, meditating on the meaning of the holy name. Then we will not be very mindless, but there are so many meanings. Srila Prabhupada has given us a very standard meaning. Hey Radha, oh Krishna, please engage me in your service. So begging for their mercy, mantrartha chintanam also helps. Then avyagratvam, not doing too fast. Avyagratvam, too much in haste, like a bullet train. So that bullet train chanting is also not a respectful chanting. It is said shanai shanai suvipashtam na dhrutam na vilambitam na nyonam nadikam vapi japam kuryat dine dine. Our chanting should be shanai shanai, uh, with a uh, slow paced, or slowly, softly. Suvipashtam, very clear pronunciation. Na dhrutam, na vilambitam. It should not be uh, too fast, it should not be too slow. Vilambitam is too slow. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And it should be too fast. I cannot do that, but it should be a balance. Na nyunam na adhikam. One should not chant too less, one should not chant too much. Why does it not chant too much? Because we also have to do anudinam. Whatever number you take, do it every day. Don't do suddenly you chant so many rounds for so many days, and for many days just chant 1 or 2 rounds. So that is not good. Maintain a fixed vow. That is also adarat and anudinam. Japam kuryat dine dine. So that is about avyagratvam, not having too much haste in chanting, and anirvedaha, do not chant with dejection. Uh, Dejection in your mind, shoka, marsh, all negative feelings, negative emotions. With that, if you chant, then that is also disrespectful chanting. So it's good to do some gratitude exercise before we begin chanting. How grateful I am to Krishna, to holy name, to devotees. So much Krishna has given me. So with this feeling of gratitude, we will be able to appreciate Krishna's mercy better, and we will chant much better. Otherwise, one is feeling, oh, why did Krishna do this with me? Uh, I was not at all in any, fault. I did not have any mistake on my side. But why did this happen with me? And with such a thought when you chant, that is also considered disrespectful chanting. So one should be in a very positive mood with a grateful heart. And chanting, if possible, has also to be done with sneha. It is called sneha samyukta nama. Like Ajamil, when he called out his son Narayan, that was with sneha, that happened with affection. It was not just inoffensive chanting, but it was also chanted with affection. So, thinking that I belong to Krishna, Krishna belongs to me. A very personal feeling, a very personal connection. With sneha, one has to chant. That is called sneha samyukta nam. That is also a good practice. Prabhupada also writes that this chanting is not just some mindless utterance. The quality of your feelings matter a lot. So I show you one purport. This is from the section of Queen Kunti. This is 1:8:26, Canto 1, Chapter 8, verse number 26. The verse is Janma Ishwarya Shruta Shrivir Edamana Madhapuman Naivadhati Abhidhatum Vai Tvam Akinchana Gocharam. My Lord, your Lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. Because one who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty, cannot address you with sincere feeling. He's having so much pride, so much aham amadi paramo, that because of Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, Shri, he cannot call out your names with feelings. And Srila Prabhupada writes, just in the beginning part of the purport, this being materially advanced means taking birth in an aristocratic family and possessing great wealth and education and attractive personal beauty. All materialistic men are mad after possessing all these material opulences, and this is known as the advancement of material civilization. But the result is that by possessing all these material assets, one becomes artificially puffed up, intoxicated by such temporary possessions. Consequently, such materially puffed up persons are incapable of uttering the holy name of the Lord by addressing him feelingly, O Govinda, O Krishna. It is said in the Shastras that by once uttering the holy name of the Lord, the sinner gets rid of a quantity of sins that is unable to commit. Such is the power of uttering the holy name of the Lord. There is not the least exaggeration in this statement. Actually, the Lord's holy name has such powerful potency, but there is a quality to such utterances also. It depends on the quality of feeling. A helpless man can feelingly utter the holy name of the Lord, whereas a man who utters the same holy name in great material satisfaction cannot be so sincere. A materially puffed up person may utter the holy name of the Lord occasionally, but he is incapable of uttering the name in quality. So this whole purport is so much discussing about the feelings, the quality, the feeling of helplessness, not being puffed up by our material possessions or our positions. So that is another thing to be uh, kept in mind when we chant, that I need to chant with feeling, uh, with a helpless mood, with feeling of repentance. So it is not just a mindless uttering of some uh, words. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. And you're doing so many other activities that doesn't reflect the sincerity of heart when we are doing so many parallel activities by chanting. So let us take this chanting of the holy names very seriously, and let us focus on this Adarat and Anudinam, and also go deeper into each of these offenses. We still have few minutes, so I'll just tell few more remedies, the specific remedies for the specific offenses that may happen. The another very important thing that for practicing humility, that Acharyas, especially His Holiness Bhakti Vigyan Gosai Maharaj, he told us that generally we all are living egocentric life. And what we need to do is we need to make this egocentric life into Krishna-centric life. But it is very difficult to suddenly go from egocentric life to Krishna-centric life. So there is one intermediate stage available. Any guess? What centric we need to become before we are able to transform ourselves from egocentric life to Krishna-centric life?
Devotee or guru?
Perfect. We have to become sadhu-centric. We need to become sadhu-centric life. So if you serve a sadhu, especially the third offense is Guru Ravagya, because when you deal with Guru, Guru will tell many times many things which are not so easy to follow. We may not be able to appreciate also many times, but still you keep your life sadhu-centric. Sadhu-centric life means, what will sadhu feel? What will my Guru feel if I do this? What will they want me to do in this particular situation? Every time you take decisions based on what will please the sadhu, what will please my spiritual master. That is a very easy way to come out of egocentric life and become sadhu-centric. And when we live like this, eventually we will become Krishna-centric. Like that. So humbly serving sadhus. Even if people, like now for the first offense, Satam Ninda, you may see some defects in someone. But despite all their defects, if you continue to uh, appreciate them for the good thing that they are doing, especially because they are spreading the glories of the holy name. If you blaspheme them, then you are also showing faithlessness in the potency of Bhakti Devi. That this person is doing bhakti, but I don't have any faith that he will be transformed. That's why I'm blaspheming. But if you have faith in the potency of Bhakti, Bhakti Devi will be very pleased with you. But when you blaspheme, indirectly you are showing lack of faith in the potency of Bhakti Devi. That, oh, this person is in shelter of Bhakti Devi, he cannot be purified. Sorry. So, so that is also another reason why the first offense happens. That we do not trust this process, we do not trust Bhakti. Like that. So, Satam Ninda can be overcome by approaching that particular Vaishnava. We need to think which all Vaishnavas have I criticized, blasphemed. We need to go and fall at their feet, beg forgiveness, and pray for their mercy. That is how we can overcome the first offense towards the holy name. And when we associate with sadhus, one more thing that will happen is we will learn from them how to deal with other devotees. We will learn from them how to live in this world, how to deal with various things, how to deal with the holy name. And by serving them, by living with them, that attitude will get infected in our life when we closely stay with such a person and serve such a person. So, okay, one more, like Bhakti Maharaj explained, interesting point. He said that, see, why we do Satam Ninda? Because, why do we do criticism? Because the false ego wants to uh, protect our identity, or we want to prove that I am better. One very easy way to prove that I am better is to look at others' faults. One very easy way to prove that I am better is, see, he's faulty, she's faulty, he has this another, she has this another. So automatically, I'm great. I'm the greatest. So it is our false ego which is leading to finding faults in others. It is not necessary that somebody has faults. It is because we have false ego. When you are freed from false ego, you would not like to look at others' faults because you are considering yourself the worst of all. Huh? Any fault finding, the root is in our false ego. Unless we have become very much sadhu centric. Because generally, by default condition is we are egocentric. To protect our identity, to prove our greatness, we find faults. So we need to uh, work upon developing humility, as I discussed earlier. Then, yeah, for the second offense, it's important that we get proper understanding about the Sambandha Gyan. The better Sambandha Gyan we have, it will help us in overcoming the second offense. The third offense, it will be difficult to serve a guru, especially when you start serving him closely. So one of the prayer that I have been chanting in the childhood, I never knew the meaning, but I have been chanting this prayer because my uncle taught me. So you heard this prayer, Om Sahana Mamatu Sahano Bunattu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinamaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahe Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. What is the meaning of this prayer? Anybody knows? The essence of this prayer is, may there not be any enmity between me and my Guru. Let there be Shanti. 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 Because when you serve closely, there can be envy. There can be enmity. Right now, because we are very far, we are saying Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev. But when you serve closely, it says Om Sahana Bhavatu. This is a prayer by teacher and student, they offer together. That now when we are studying scriptures together, Om Sahana Bhavatu. May we both progress in understanding of the scriptures. Sahana Bhunaktu. May the fruit of our study be bestowed upon both the teacher and the student. Sahaviryam Karavavahe. May uh, proper strength or ability to understand scripture be bestowed upon both the teacher and the student. Tejasvina, uh, may both of us shine brightly in while we are studying. Saviryam Karvavahe, Tejasvina Vaditamastu. Ma Vidvishavahe. Ma Vidvisha means may there not be any enmity or envy between the Guru and the disciple. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So this is in the Taittiriya Upanishad. So it's good to recite this prayer every day. Uh, and also hear the glories of the Guru and learn from other experts who have served the Guru very nicely. And the fourth offense towards the scriptures can be overcome by worshipping scriptures literally, by offering tulasi to the scriptures, by offering garland to the scripture, and in reciting those scriptures. And take shelter of sadhus, those have developed great faith in those scriptures. And for the further offenses, it is very much the remedies about the sadhu sangha. The sadhu sangha will help us gain faith, and we will not consider the glories of holy name to be imagination. And they will help us how to get proper understanding, and ultimately they will only help us uproot our false ego. Because when you have to serve someone, but Jnani can practice alone, yogi can practice alone. But a bhakta has to be in association. And association, the false ego gets very nicely crushed, the purified, especially when you are serving very closely someone, some sadhu. So they'll uproot our false ego. And once false ego is uprooted, the offensive mentality will be gone. And then we will be able to chant the holy name with Adar and Anutinam. Kintva Anudanam Khalu Saivajishta Swadvikramat Bhavati Tat Katamunadri. And to the degree we are able to practice this, to that degree we will experience the sweetness of the way. Thank you so much. We'll stop here. In case anybody has any question, you can stay back. We'll take a break for 1 minute and then we will have question answer session. But those who are getting late, feel free to proceed. The class is over. श्री उपदेशामृत की जय, श्री रूप गोस्वामी पाद की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, समन्वित गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरे कृष्ण। Yes, Akhilesh Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisance. So, Prabhuji, while practicing humility, you taught us that by mind and by body and by consciousness. So, what was the point which you mentioned about the consciousness? This is one point, and the other one question, and the other is like the sixth quality of respectful japa. When you explained, you said about cleanliness, monam, and what was the fourth point, Prabhu?
Okay. So when I said mind, practicing humility in mind means, as Mataji told, that the glorification that we are doing by speech should be genuine. So in mind also, we should be thinking about the glories of other devotees, considering ourselves, full of offenses, things like that. And another thing you could do is to have a sadhu-centric mind. That is also going to help us practicing humility in mind, because we will keep the desires and priorities of sadhu as the important thing and not our own priorities. So that will help us cultivate humility in mind. And about the 6 qualities of a respectful japa, you want the fourth one
Yes,
is
Prabhuji.
mantrartha chintanam, meditating on the meaning of the holy name. Mantra artha chintanam. The first one was manasamharanam, concentration of mind. Second is shaucham, that is cleanliness. Third is maunam, silence. Fourth is mantrartha chintanam, meditating on the meaning. Fifth is avyagratvam. Avyagratvam means non-haste in our chanting. And anirvedaha means not having feeling of dejection or moroseness. So this is a verse from Hari Bhakti Vilas 17.129. So this 17.129 he's explained the qualities of a good respectful japa. Does this answer your question, Madhuri?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, Sanatan Gopal.
Hare Krishna, Pranam.
Hare.
Firstly, I have a question. When we were discussing the ninth offense, so when we instruct a faithless person, so that time we said that in this case also the holy name also pulls out the mercy from this. So it goes far away. So my question is, Prabhu, even if some at a point maybe at least he may not the whole mantra, but at least one name may have chanted faithfully. So what is the fate of such a person, even though he might have chanted maybe some one word or two faithfully? Uh, does it take away from the Lord forever, or does he, because he gets some spiritual credits when he chants, when it's
See,
faithfully?
ninth offense, true, I'm not able to understand the question. The ninth offense is about instructing a person who does not have faith. But if
Correct.
someone has chanted, that means he has faith. Even if one or two words is chanted, he has Shraddha. Otherwise, holy name, how has it appeared on tongue of such a person? He chanted, na? You said
Correct.
one or two words is chanted, so that means he has Shraddha. Or you are saying
No.
about Namabha? You are saying about Namabha, so he don't even know that this is holy name and he just happened to chant? Or he knew this
I
is holy
mean,
name and he chanted?
so for example, he tried and he saw this is not working. I mean, this is too much. So in the initial stage, he chanted with faith, and then
Okay.
later, it seems that it didn't work for him. So in that sense, he gets some spiritual credits for sure. But like we said, once he loses the faith, he goes away from the the holy name. Also withdraws the mercy. So does the
Okay.
spiritual credits help him in the
Sure,
upcoming time to?
yeah, the spiritual credits will help him. See, he will, if he's criticizing holy name, if he's having offensive mentality towards holy name, then holy name will be displeased. So in the ninth offense, what is going to happen if someone says, "Oh, I don't have faith in holy name," you push him for chanting. He says, "Oh, I don't want to do." You again push him. Then he will criticize holy name. So there are two problems have happened. He has become vimukha, and holy name also has become upset because he has blasphemed. So both the people are kind of away. Now, in what mood that person has given up chanting, whether I am unqualified, I am not able to chant because of my material desires, or he's offending holy name, it will very much depend on that. But even if he has offended holy name and left, but because he has chanted earlier with Shraddha, he surely get benefit of the chanting. What exactly that benefit he will get, that depends very much case to case, and the Lord will decide that. But surely he will get benefit of
Really?
chanting.
Yes.
Hmm?
I have another question. I'll come back again. So
You can ask
once
him.
the round. Then Ruji, then we're having the 10th offense discussion. So the 10th offense is the most subtle, and the first offense is the grossest form. So then, and then when they as they move from 10, 9, 8, and first, they started grossly speaking as the devotees. So how do we? I mean, this may take another whole point of discussion. This is then how the Ritviks, because Ritvik comes on an open platform and then they blaspheme the devotees.
Yeah.
And I mean, then how do we do? Because how do we,
Yeah,
how the
so
progress then eventually?
this is one path generally that will happen. That generally because of 10th, it will lead to ninth will lead to 8th and all. But it's not necessary that everyone has to go through this path only. It's not that when they are blaspheming, see, Ritviks are blaspheming only, they are doing only the first offense, Satam and Inda, not because uh, they don't have faith in holy name. When I discussed the growth from the 10th to first, here the first, when the person reaches first stage, he feels, hey, this is holy name is useless. This is all fake. Why these people are preaching? In that mode, he is blaspheming the devotees. So that is one way of progress. But there can be a lot of people or majority of offenses also happen directly. You are just offending a devotee. And he happens to be a preacher of the holy name. Then also holy name is displeased with that person. Not necessarily because he has lack of faith in holy name and that holy name is being preached. Are you getting it? So not necessarily that everyone has to go through this path
The
only in
path.
this book. Like that. So what I was telling is if someone is having this 10th offense, doesn't work upon it, eventually he will come to the first. And yes, these people who are doing offense of blaspheming devotees, they will not get taste in chanting. And when you do not get taste in chanting for many years or multiple lifetimes, that will lead to many other offenses also. And ultimately, one will come to that stage. It may not be seen in this lifetime sometimes or immediately, but it takes time. But eventually, when you lose taste, you lose faith, again, one will fall back to sinful life, materialistic activities. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Huh? That answers your question, huh?
Yes.
Yes, Saurabh, bro.
Hare Krishna, Guruji, Pranam.
Hare
Guruji, I have
Krishna.
few questions. The first one is, maybe I missed something from the class, but in the 10th offense, you started with like it happens when a false ego is bigger, like when we think we are doing this, that's why holy name is propagated, right? But in the 10th offense, it is also mentioned about to have material attachment even after understanding so many instructions. So generally we do have, or maybe I do have that material attachments. Like even while chanting, we can think of like having wealth and like etc. and all these things. So does this offense also relate to all of the 10 till the first one, and how big this offense is, or how to rectify this?
Yeah. So the 10th offense, when we say mamadi is material attachments here. Hmm. So the offense is Shrutepi Nama Mahatme. One has heard the glories of the holy name. Yah Priti Rahito hi Naraha, but he does not develop any Priti. Because Aham Mamadi Paramo. So Aham means he's thinking himself to be this body, and Mamadi means everything belonging to this body to be mine. So this is material attachment. That's why the offense is translated like that. That to maintain material attachment, even after hearing so many glories of the holy name, and do not have complete faith in chanting of the holy names. So now some Vaishnavas say we don't have to worry so much because only when Aham Mamadi becomes Paramo, the topmost thing in our life, then only the 10th offense is there. But in general, this is not the topmost thing in our life. We are wanting to keep our ego down. We want to practice bhakti. We want to serve Krishna. So in that sense, the 10th office may not be happening. But from the analysis that His Holiness Bhakti Vedan Goswami Maharaj has given, he says that this is the most subtle thing, uh, the root of all, the last offense to be cleared off, which we translated into the regular recitation that we have, that to maintain material attachment. So to maintain material attachment means we are still living an I-centered life, thinking ourselves greater than Krishna and His holy name. And that's how this offense happens, and it's very, very subtle. Very, very subtle.
Mm. So can we have this sort, like we should have this much wealth, or maybe how car, etc., etc. I mean, this is
If somebody has this desire, if somebody
yeah,
has this desire, I
desires.
should have this much wealth. How will he be able to give up that desire forcefully? Oh, I
Mm,
don't want to have this desire of having to know. Is it possible to do like that?
no.
So it will be difficult. How will that go away? By practicing bhakti, by serving a sadhu who is freed from all these attachments. When that sadhu's mercy will come, by his blessings, by the potency of bhakti, that attachment will go away. So even if we have attachment, what can we do? No problem, practice bhakti. But I have very sincere intention that one day I want to overcome all this. One can have this desire, I want to have so much wealth if that is for serving Krishna. But I want to have so much wealth for my enjoyment. That is not a very favorable attitude for a bhakta who wants to attain Krishna prema, uh, like that. So,
So,
uh,
so sometimes,
difficult to,
yeah.
uh, if it is difficult
Actually,
to overcome this feeling, then one can pray that, okay, one day let that stage come in my life. Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah. So, as you said, like we can think of this maybe if we can use it for some service, but sometimes mind also tricks like this, like maybe by this you will you can use this in your service, but it is mainly for me, myself only, and not for
Yeah,
any
so
services.
that is Ahamamadi. So that leads to tenth offense. See, that's why we are not chanting, we are not able to taste the sweetness of holy name. Ecstasy इसीलिए नहीं आ रहा है क्योंकि ये सब पकड़ के बैठे हैं.
Mm.
अब पता चलता है कितना नाम अपराध कर रहे हैं. But otherwise, when we are reciting, we feel okay. These are some ten नाम अपराधाs in some Padma Puran. They are there for some people who all these devotees. For me, I don't think. No, it is there, very much there, very deep rooted, very difficult to overcome.
Hmm. Thanks for you.
Hmm?
Maybe I have few other questions, but I can ask last.
Okay. Yes, continue.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. My question is regarding 10th offense only. I think most of the things you have already covered. My other devotees have asked questions. But still, I will ask because maintaining material attachments, even after hearing so many instructions on this matter, how many instructions, that is one thing I was thinking about. And see, other offenses are like, see, stop blaspheming devotees, stop blaspheming guru. So there is some direction, or at least some thing we can look forward to if we do this thing. First, stop doing something from that day. But stopping maintaining material attachments completely, it will be the almost the perfected state of spiritual practice. सो इट इज समथिंग लाइक बोलते बोलते अभी हाईएस्ट उसको बोल दिया कि सो व्हेन यू डो नॉट हैव मेंटेन, इफ यू स्टॉप मेंटेन attachments, only then this offense can be curtailed. So how to understand this, Prabhuji? I mean, other nine I could understand, but this will go away gradually as we practice, as we chant.
Okay, so blaspheming we will not do, suppose.
Yeah.
And then I won't consider, Lord Shiva and all that because I not do.
Yes, yes, yes.
Then third is I'll follow properly whatever Guru says, Guru Ramagya. That is also how much are we actually following? We don't know,
Yes,
Prabhu.
yes, but
Guru has given so many instructions. Are we actually living by that? This is
correct.
also very tough one. The third one itself is very tough one.
Yes.
He's telling Pranadapi and so many dealings, so many things we have done. Are we actually following? And he's telling us to chant attentively. Or he's
Yes.
telling us to serve Vaishnavas. So when we don't do those things, that also leads to offense. The third is also a very tough one. Okay, Shruti Shastra Nindanam. Sometimes we may have doubt in the scriptures also. That is this really true? What scriptures are telling, is this really true? And scriptures, they're filled with glories of the holy name. So indirectly we're offending the holy name. Fifth one is considering glories of the holy name to be imagination. Sometimes that thought also may come. And sixth is to give some mundane interpretation to the holy name, which may not give generally. If he. Seventh is Papa Buddhi. Namnot Balat Yasya Papa Buddhi. Even that Papa Buddhi, that let me do this simple activity and holy name se overcome karna ho. That also will be. Then Karma Kanda, ये सब शुभ क्रिया आदि हरिनामानि साम्यम, that will be all offense. Ninth is to instruct a faithless person, and tenth. So tenth is surely very tough. That's why it is the last rule, the root of all, and mm, uh, because it is more about offensive mentality. जब तक वो नहीं जाएगा, which is false ego, ये अपराध नहीं जाएगा, ये अनर्था नहीं जाएगा. And but the solution is sadhu seva, sadhu sangha. So if you want to know one thing that I should do, for each of the offense you have something, one thing to do. The 10th offense, oh, what is that I have to do? I have to do sadhu seva. I have to do sadhu sangha. You have to be a sadhu centric. Then it will be possible. That is one step if you want to know what I should do. For all the offenses, practically every offense, Bhaktivinoda Thakur in different books and many other acharyas have told the same solution again and again. That association of devotees, especially who are very exalted, serving them and obtaining their mercy. And it will take time. And imagine if 10th offense was not there. तो कितना इजी हो जाता था, 9 ऑफेंस कट कट कट
Yes.
कट सब ना
Yes.
check 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 खत्म हो ना. And Prabhu is नयनम गलम अशुधाया वदनम गदगद विद्या गिरा पुलकर विचितम वपु कथा तव नाम ग्रहण भविष्यति. कितना आसान हो जाता, सब लोग पूरा मटेरियल वर्ल्ड खाली हो जाता था. लेकिन नहीं, पॉलिसी को ये सॉफ्टवेयर दिया गया है जिससे हम लोग मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में अपने आप को भगवान मानते हैं. See, if you say that Jiva wants to be like God or center of the creation, so you cannot give one creation to one Jiva. So Krishna very intelligently is given this software called false ego. Everyone has been kept together, But everyone has been given that identity false ego. Oh, I am special. I am the most special. So instead of giving a whole different creation to you, in the same creation, everyone has got that software by which he feels I am the center of creation. Simple. And
Like
जब तक
master
वो
stroke.
नहीं हाँ
Master
एक
stroke.
ही बार एक खत्म होना why to create so many words? Just create one word and everyone is given that software false ego where I feel I am the center, I am the center, I am the center. And till the time that is there, you won't go back. You may go, I may not go. If I will go, then I will go. Do that story, Madhvacharya, the drama, famous drama where Radha Gopinath temple. If I will go, then I will go. Yes, Shamsa Kapoor, you seen that drama? You were also there in that drama? No? The disciple is being asked by the guru, will these brahmanas go? Hmm? They will not go. If they see, if they feel themselves to be brahmanas, they will. Will I go? The guru is asking. And he said, no, you'll also not go. He said, because he asked, no, I am a sannyasi, the Mathadipati. Will I go? He said, no. He said, will you go? He said, yes. If I may go, then I will go. If my eye goes, then I will go. But, so 10th offense is the offense. But sadhu sang se jayega. So that is that one thing we can do. We can pray for that sadhu sang. It will help us grow further in our bhajan. Obviously, we also have service to Prabhupada and our spiritual masters. So serving the mission, pleasing them, it will be very painful. They will tell us, go out, Prabhu, on book distribution. And you don't want to go out. But that is his desire that book distribution should happen. So these are practical ways to overcome Namaprad. जाना पड़ेगा फॉल्सी को पूरा क्रश हो जाएगा. Does it answer your question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Got it.
Yes, okay, there are some questions on the chat. Nehmataji is asking, our japa goes on for a considerable duration, 2 hours. How to maintain attentiveness for long duration? We can meditate on the meaning of the holy name for few rounds. How to maintain attentiveness for longer duration? You could even take some breaks in between and focus on improving the mood. So chant 4 rounds, then take a break. Then again read something, hear something. And then again you chant. You see your stamina, 3-4 rounds. Again take a break. So it is a hard work we will have to do. But whenever we are chanting, we may make sure that we are chanting with other, with proper respect. So 2 hours will be difficult because sometimes some people have picked up to 16 rounds very fast. This is good, but now we can focus on the quality. Because anyways, we have to spend that much time. Why not do it with quality? And anyways, we have to do some reading, hearing. We can do it in between the chanting also, if that is going to help us chant with better mood. Okay. Is there a way to keep a check to measure if our quality of japa is improving over a period of time, or is it degrading and we need to take corrective measures to improve? Yes, one of the measure is do we want to chant more? If I'm getting a feeling that I want to chant more, then chanting is going better. If I'm getting a feeling I don't want to chant more, chanting is not going. If we are just completing the rounds. So, Shanti, avyartha kalatvam, viraktir mana shunyata. To the degree we are experiencing all the symptoms, we don't want to waste our time. We want to utilize every moment in some aspect of devotional service. We want to please Krishna. Our material desires are going away. One wants to serve Krishna. One wants to speak about practicing devotional service to others. All these are symptoms. But in one quick check is, do I want to chant more? It is on the right track. Okay, Sagar was asking if 10th offense leads to 9 and like that till first, then why the offenses are given is from first to 10. Why not 10 to 1? Yeah, so this offenses goes from 10 to 1 is like one of the analysis. So scriptures don't give this analysis as it is, like directly in the text. Sakapu is there?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So now this is analysis by some of the Vartamana Acharyas that it is like this. What I feel why it is given in the other way, because the first offense is the biggest offense. Satam Ninda is Namani what? Paramo Aparadam Mithunute, something like that. So that is the greatest offense. So greatest offense is told first. And one by one, you overcome these offenses. So otherwise, somebody reads only the first offense, and it is the least offense, suppose, and he may not go till 10th offense. So better you tell him the most important offense first. And also, it is the grossest thing that you can easily avoid. The 10th one is most subtle and most difficult to overcome. So first, the offense is told which is most easy to avoid. Sataham and Ninda is to blaspheme devotees loudly. Ninda basically means Nindanam Dosha Kirtanam, speaking out loudly another's fault. In a very practical way, you can see whether you are doing it or not. So maybe that is the reason also. Because, but it is very true that it is the greatest offense. Paramo aparadha. Greatest. Does it answer your question?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Naveen Pro has a question. The corporate world forces you to think I'm special and I need everyone to see it. That is how you survive at work. But bhakti is the exact opposite. Bhakti works when you think I'm simple, I'm here to serve. The danger is that the corporate thinking secretly copies itself into your spiritual life. How to keep this separate? Naveen Pro is there?
Yes, Prabhu.
So Prabhuji, I left corporate world for that reason. Anyways, this is just a joke, but I will tell you, bro, if you follow this uh, bhakti mood, bhakti attitude, these are eternal principles. You follow them, you will become the best corporate guy. You follow them with faith, you will become the best corporate guy. I'm not so much in touch with the recent corporate management situations and all, but I have heard that they are discussing about something called as the servant leadership. The leader who is in the mood of servant of the servant of the servant. And to the degree he's in that mood, to that degree he's able to keep the team together. People are wanting to work with him. He's able to draw out the best of the work from all his employees because it's a servant leadership. If it's master leadership, where he's saying, I'm special, I need everyone to see it. And everyone is doing that, they won't give their best from heart. They will just give that much which is important for them to progress. And he's also kind of exploiting, and this is not a very sustainable uh, model. That's why then people change companies, they leave the company, they change and switch, and so many complications, so many politics keep happening. I did this, why did he take the credit of doing that project? And then when the appraisals come, you have to show so much. I have done this, I have done that, I did this, I did that. Yes, we can show that, but the mode has to be the servant of the servant of servant, very selfless, very poor. And eventually, such leaders are the leaders who are recognized because they lived with character, they lived with compassion, and people really want to be with them for decades together. So many of these corporate management gurus, they're trying to learn these principles from the spiritual organizations. How in spiritual organization, so many IITians, so many NITians, so many doctors, so many engineers, they're giving their life without taking a single penny as a salary. They are working day and night, giving up their wife, children, family, everything. They are like full-time available slaves for them. Hmm. Why are they so much willing to help and serve? And that's how the spiritual organizations are growing so fast. And they don't have to have so many monitoring systems. There is no pay scale. There is selfless quality, and for decades together they are serving. So they are amazed by this amazing management model, is it not? What a corporate ISKCON is. And this will be like this to the degree the top leaders are in the mood of servant. I'm serving here. I want to help that person, genuinely wanting. So I think Stephen Covey, he has written also about these principles. If you have you read the Seven Habits or the Eighth Habit? So he speaks about all the spiritual principles. So he learned from the Catholic churches what actually is the quality of a true leader. He's a Christian, very Pakka devotee, and not ISKCON devotee, but in their Catholics or whatever church. And he just brought those eternal values, and he has introduced them in the corporate structure. So to the degree you follow this, in for immediate basis, what you are saying is I'm special. I need everyone to see me. These kind of things. For some time it will work, but if you want to work, if you want these things to work in long run, where people remain loyal to you year after year, they need to have those spiritual eternal qualities. सो लंबी रेस के घोड़े के लिए वो काम आएगा समझो छोटी रेस के लिए ये कॉर्पोरेट का एटीट्यूड काम आएगा दैट इज माय लिमिटेड अंडरस्टैंडिंग श्यामचंद्र व्हाट इज योर फीलिंग व्हिच इज अ कॉर्पोरेट ट्रेनर
No, but exactly you covered that, and I just wanted to probably say one thing. You covered it in detail. We think that corporate world में ये है and bhakti is opposite, but actually it is I am the servant and corporate में it is opposite.
I'm
the servant is the actual
okay
thing, and corporate is opposite.
yeah I mean it's
Yeah.
a different way of putting it
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
So obviously, Prachi, I mean, it's not that we have to deal in the same way, the way we deal in corporate. Oh, Prabhu, I'm servant, and we get exploited. And all. We have to surely draw boundaries, and we can learn from Mahabharata, Ramayana, all these scriptures, how people have dealt in certain situations. If somebody is really doing some violence or uh, is becoming a threat to our existence, we need to speak out. Like Narada Muni told to that snake disciple, uh, you don't have to bite, but you can hiss. Because when that snake became initiated devotee and he took a vow, no meditating, no gambling, no intoxication side. So people started, because he became devotee in the corporate world, all the children started throwing stones. Hey, ये कर लेगा, इसको पीटो, इसको पीटो, इसको पीटो. And Narumni said, no, you can hiss, but with a feeling of Trinadapi in your heart, with a right consciousness in your heart. There is a strong focus on values and mindset, respect, integrity, service, excellence, stewardship. So, yeah, these qualities are also the same qualities that we discussed. But if you understand the right meaning of humility, uh, because humility is also like Arjuna was also very humble and he was like giving a war cry. Trinadapi Arjun is giving a war cry and he's like shooting the arrows. So that also has to be done at times whenever required. But the underlying mode should be the eternal principles which we have learned in Bhakti. What do you feel, Tarunima, bro? Am I correct? You want to add?
I'm yet to practice.
Or what is your feeling on this? At least the understanding wise.
Yes, Roy. Yes, very much.
Yeah. But if you see any corporate guy who has really become very successful, he's a man of all these values. Otherwise, why someone is wanting to serve Ambani when Ambani doesn't have so much talent himself. You ask him anything about his technology and all, but just people below him, they respect him. He said, no, he's a guy. He really helped me in very tough times. He's so selfless, genuine, good character. I want to continue. Otherwise, he can start his own company. And when such bosses are there, then the people they will leave. They say, ठीक है इसको क्या आता है इससे और कम रिलायंस तो मैं चला रहा हूँ ये तो सिर्फ नाम का बॉस है ठीक है I can open a bigger better Reliance. That's what happens in so many coaching institutes. I'm the teacher, all the students are with me. The person on the top, he doesn't have right value system. He's just exploiting. Why should I serve with him? I start my own coaching. He starts another coaching all the boys they put to him. And पहले वाला सिर्फ नाम का टीचर रहता है without any students. But if he was a leader with all amazing qualities, people would like to serve with him, continue with him, go ahead with him. Those people only have become the real longest surviving corporates. They are the ones who have these qualities. Does it answer your question, Naveen bro?
Yes, bro. Very much, bro. Yes.
So ये लंबी रोज का घोड़े में काम आता है जिसको लंबी रेस में जीतना है उसके लिए दिस क्वालिटीज विल बी बाकी लोग छोटा छोटा रेस जीतेंगे बाद में आउट हो जाएंगे या एक जगह पे जाके स्टक हो जाएंगे sprint versus marathon
Sprint versus marathon.
I think you can relate more to athletic Sham Sundar bro and you both of you sprint versus marathon yes Saurabh bro
Yes, Suji, one last question. So, Proji, for the first offense, you said that it is at gross level, but many times at subtle level as well, we instead of telling someone or blasting someone else, we many times think in our mind also that, oh, how does this devotee is behaving, also etc. etc. And so, how should we look at this offense for at
so
subtle level?
if we don't work upon it it will become gross after some time. Right now it is subtle. It is just matter of time. If we do not work upon it, it will become gross very soon. And it is again aham mamadi. It is due to the false ego that we have. We are seeing faults of others. To the degree we are free from false ego, we will not look down upon others or seeing faults. "Eh, ये तो ऐसे ही, वो ये तो ऐसे ही." It's not that we have to become blind and oh, for दिखना ही नहीं चाहिए. Like, we may see it, but after seeing what is our attitude, if we look at someone's fault and we say, oh, he's bhakta, he's devotee, he's in the shelter of Bhakti Devi will take care of him or her. So that way Bhakti Devi is becoming pleased that we have faith in her. And very soon that devotee will become very good. Apichet Sudaracha Bhajate Mamanani Sadhureva Samantaya Samyak Vivasutavesi. That is one thing. Another thing also, even if you happen to see fault, by criticizing him in mind, we are going down. But if you pray for him, or if you see, how can I help that devotee? By having a right outlook, you have opportunity to grow in your bhakti. Is having that right outlook. So that's how we should see. Let me be part of the solution and not part of the problem or increase the problem. How can I serve in this situation? How can I help that person? What way of seeing will be pleasing to Guru and Krishna? Let me see from that angle. Let me see from that perspective. That way we will become sadhu-centric. We see faults because we are egocentric. We are keeping ourselves in the center. And if he pleased me, he's good guy. He did not please me, he's bad. But we have to see whether Guru is pleased with him. And even if he does not deal with me properly, I know that Guru is happy with him, so I should be happy with him. That is living a sadhu-centric life. That is living a Guru-centric life.
This will be.
Huh? Okay.
Thank you.
Stop here. I think this offenses sessions have gone the longest. The last one in today's one. But today we have completed the discussion on the 10 offenses and we'll discuss with the 8th text next time. And I won't be going very detailed into the further 4 texts because that's a different level of practice. Raga, Nuga, Bhakti. Till now we discussed about Vaidhi, Sadhana, Bhakti, and that is what my level. I'm at this level, I can discuss only about this. The first is the Raga, Nuga, Bhakti, so we are going to go quite fast and just describe what is it. And in detailed discussion we will do in Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, about various concepts of Raga, Nuga, Bhakti. So don't think that अभी तो exam बहुत दूर है. That's why I'm saying this. And if you know, I was supposed to complete by 4th of July and 11th was supposed to be exam. But my guess is in coming 2 sessions, I should be able to complete maybe four verses. And on 18th, we may have exam instead of 11th because Earlier, I did not think of going in detail of the 10 offenses, but we went and 2 sessions into extra. So maybe 1 or 2 sessions we will extend. So either on 18th or the week after that, that is 25th, we'll have exam. The next module will be Shri Ishopanishad. And after that, my desire was to start nectar devotion, but I'm thinking now of Gita. We'll do Bhagavad Gita and then we will do Bhakti Rasam Sindhu, because Bhakti Rasam is going to be very deep and it's like very detailed into Bhakti. But before that, let us understand the glories of Bhakti and the importance of the path of Bhakti. And then we will go in details of the practices of Bhakti. So nectar devotion we will do last. And end with Raganuga Bhakti. Bhakti Shastri will end with Raganuga Bhakti. The last few chapters of NOI of what we are going to study. There are many chapters, but we'll only study 19 chapters. So the last 2-3 chapters will end our Bhakti Shastra with that. Instead of ending with Sarvadhamanta Vittaja of Gita, we'll end with Raganuga Bhakti of Rupa Goswami.
Hare Krishna,
Okay.
Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisance. Prabhuji, you mentioned
Hare Krishna.
18 July will be our exam or 18 August?
July Mataji.
Prabhuji, that day we have our Jagannath Rath Yatra, right? In
Oh yeah,
Devaraisi.
then we can have on 25th. Fine. Okay. So we have got a good
25th is, I think, Ashadi Ekadashi, Guru.
is it? So we all can give exam on Ashwadi Ekadashi. You are going to Pandharpur?
Yes, bro.
Yes. Yes. You're going? Okay.
It
We'll
will be
see
so
then.
blissful to give exam from Pandharpur.
Anyways, we'll see. We'll plan. I'll take a voting on the group and we'll plan. But we want to start by August. श्री उपनिषद ठीक है। तो आगे मैं थोड़ा भगाने वाला हूँ क्योंकि रागानुगा अभी मुझे डिस्कस नहीं करना है। विल डिस्कस आफ्टर भगवत गीता एंड आफ्टर श्री उपनिषद। सब फिलोसॉफी सब समझने के बाद में जाएंगे रागानुगा। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंद।
Thank you so much, Vijay.